Hi, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at Chicken Scratch. This is the card we're making today. It does fold flat and it will fit in a standard envelope, but it also stands, okay? You can sign it on the back. Okay, so let's make this card. Here's the supplies. We're using Balmy Blue and the Abstract Beauty Designer Series paper. We'll start out with stamping our images first. So let's get our two basic white pieces. I'm going to use my Stamparatus grid paper to stamp. This stamp set just cracks me up. Now you can use any greetings with this stamp set. You don't have to use the greetings that come with it. So you could say something completely different than "you're perfect." We're using 3 sets of Stampin' Blend markers: Balmy Blue, Gray Granite, and Pumpkin Pie. So I'm going to start with the dark gray granite, and I'm just going to outline the cat with the dark. Okay, now the light gray granite. His nose looks like it's a heart a little bit. To me it does. We're going to take the dark Balmy Blue and I'm just going to add a little bit, and then now the light. And you know what I did? Let me show you. I don't know if you can tell. I actually I colored this back here with the gray granite, and then I came back over it with the Balmy Blue. Because you know, a little fishbowl is see-through. So there's a little bit of water and then there's a little bit of that kitty cat. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's see, one more area right there. And now for the pumpkin pie, I'm going to take the dark and just trace over those 2 little lines, and then the light, and I'm going to color the rest of the goldfish. Okay, there's that. Now for our grading, we're going to trim that. So I'm going to trim a little bit of the end, and then I'm actually going to trim this with my scissors. Okay, trim and trim. There's that. I can tell I didn't cut this side straight. Okay, since our paper already measures 4 inches, we're going to cut the first piece to measure 2 7/8. Is that right? Yep, that's right. So 2 7/8. And then the next piece, so that's going to be this one right up here. And then the next piece is going to measure 4 by 3/4. And I'm going to place it right there at the 3/4. And then that's that piece right there. Okay, so now we have this piece right here to cut, and that measures 2 1/4 by 2 1/2. This is our leftover piece here, and so you can see it's just shy of 2 1/2. So we're going to cut it at 2 1/4. That's all we're removing, and then 2 1/2. Okay, and that's for this section right there. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and score our Balmy Blue cardstock. This one measures 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, and this one measures 2 1/2 by 4 1/4. We'll start with the little one. We're going to score it at 1/2 inch and 1 1/2. Then we're going to score this one at 1/2 inch, 1 1/2. 3 inches and 4 inches. Okay, so I made myself a template here of how to assemble this. So both of these, I have a little template. So the first thing we'll do is go ahead and fold on the score lines and burnish it with our bone folder. Okay, so now we want to add our designer series paper to the front up here, just like that. So I'm going to use my liquid glue. Whoops. There we go. And then this is going to fold like that, okay? Just below the paper, the designer series paper. You can use tear and tape if you prefer. So I'm just going to hold that for just a second. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this piece, okay? So I'm going to flip that over, add my liquid glue. Okay, for this piece here, fold on the score line, burnish with your bone folder. There we go. And then what you're going to do is line this piece up down here at the bottom, just like that, and then line this up here at the top, okay? And if you'll look, I take it all the way to the edge on both areas, okay? So the edge on the bottom and the edge on the side, okay? So I'm going to start up here, and I'm actually going to use my tear and tape, because if I use my liquid glue, I might accidentally get it on other parts of the paper. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove the backing. Okay, and then again, I'm lining this up at the bottom, just like that right there. And then I'm just going to flip this over and stick it down, okay? Now, raise this up, and you're going to put adhesive down here so that it sticks down there, so that when it stands up, it's like that, okay? So, right here, just bring that over, put some liquid glue down here, and fold it over. Hold on. There we go. I was getting myself mixed up. And just give that a second to dry. And then we're going to add our designer series paper. Okay, there's that. So for the back side, we're going to glue this down. Now, I will tell you, stamp that first. You can still write like this, but it's a little bit easier to stamp your greeting if you're going to stamp on it. If you're just going to write, you'll be okay. But if you want to stamp a greeting, do it before you attach it, okay? So now we're going to add this image to the scallop circle with liquid glue. And then let's go ahead and add our greeting. Well, no, let's go ahead and add this because then that will determine where we add the greeting. And this time I'm going to use a Stampin' Dimensional. Okay, so that goes there. And then this is going to get added here. And I'm going to add it by putting a dimensional on the back. Flatten that out so that we can add it. And then you might want to just bring this over and add a drop of liquid glue. I'm either going to get too much or too little. There we go. There we go. Now for our embellishment. This time we're using this color. I didn't add any ribbon to this card because I kind of felt like all the gold accents on here. Check the box for that. Now you can also slide in some candy inside there. So let me show you a couple examples. Well, I don't have a second example, but I have one example. So this is a Utah Truffles Belgium milk chocolate. And this slides in there perfectly. Okay? So it can be a card and a treat holder. There's other candy bars that fit in here. This measures what, 4 1/4. So any candy bar that's just 4 1/4. You could also use a little bit of like glue dots or glue if you wanted to use something a little smaller and just glue it inside there. Okay, so that wraps up our card. Now to make it stand, you just kind of have to wiggle it a little bit. So there's that. And yeah, okay. Don't forget, if you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell to get notifications. Thanks so much. Have a great day.